All right, in this video, I'm going to compare these two pairs of sneakers right here. We have the Killshot 2 leathers from Nike, and then we have these guys, which are the infamous GPSs, or general purpose shoe from Tom Sachs. Obviously, when these dropped, a lot of people were like, bruh, they're literally this shoe. But I wanted to break down 20 differences between these shoes and like 10 similarities. It was a stretch, but let me show you guys all of the differences and the key similarities as well. So let's go ahead and jump right in. I will be doing a follow-up video on these, just so you know, like after wearing these a month. I've been wearing them quite a bit, Sun River and back, and all sorts of hikes and crazy stuff. But basically, I just wanted to wear them every day and see how they were, and if they were like a good purchase or not, and actually live it up to the name of general purpose. I think there is a difference between general purpose and all purpose. At least that's what my wife told me, because I was wearing it on hikes and stuff, and she's like, you should have wore hiking boots. Any which way, this is what I ended up with. I wanted to go ahead and get into some of these similarities, so let me go ahead and take a look. The first similarity between these two models is that gum rubber midsole that you could see right here. Definitely nice looking midsole, but very, very familiar. Moving to the front of the shoe, another similarity is that suede toe cap, as you can see on both of the shoes. Similarly, you also have a suede heel cup on the back. So another similarity, number 3. Similarity number 4, the suede panel right here on the laces. Very, very similar shape on both of those. Number 5, the back tab placement back here. Although one is tucked under and one is over, it's very similar in nature as well. Next up is the 3 sew lines on the side panel of the shoe. How the shoe comes together is also done very similarly. As you could see, even on this knitted upper here, they have the same exact placement of the 3 side panels. Also, the overall shape of both of the shoes look very, very similar, as you guys probably already noticed. Another Captain Obvious similarity is that swoosh location on the side of the shoe. Obviously, swooshes are on the sides of the shoes on most of Nike's shoes. However, this one has a very, very similar spot, including where it just tucks under, right underneath the heel cup of the shoe. Same on both of them. Also pointing out on the lace panel, the stitching is very identical on both of them. Just the overall way that the shoes were constructed there. Again, you can't really say that it doesn't look like the same thing. And the last similarity between these two sneakers right here is, in fact, they are both pretty boring. I mean, they're both very standard, generic style Nikes, which honestly, the fact that they're not super crazy, there's no crazy bells and whistles. Some people really like a boring shoe, and I think that Tom Sachs is obviously playing making a nod to that, calling it a boring sneaker itself. But they both are boring because they look very, very similar. But now let's go ahead and nitpick a little bit and get into 20 differences between these two sneakers. The first difference is pretty obvious. They used a rubber outsole on the bottom of the Tom Sachs. So on the Killshot, you can see it has the brown rubber midsole, but then they changed it up on the outsole. The second difference is pretty obvious. The Killshot has a herringbone style outsole traction, and then there is a square lug traction on the Tom Sachs. Also, another difference between the two, very subtle but different. You could see that the gum sole thickness changes a lot more on the Tom Sachs than it does on the Killshot. Killshot's it's thick and then a little bit thicker on the back. The Tom Sachs, it's thinner in the front and then obviously thicker on the back. Another change, and something that identifies the Tom Sachs sneakers the way they are, is that blue nylon herringbone strap on the tongue as well as on the heel of the shoe. So that's one of the things they took from the Mars Yard as well, but the straps on the Mars Yard were obviously red. These ones are blue. Another difference is the fused overlay on the toe box of the Tom Sachs. As you can see down here, there's an extra reinforcement around the big toe. Obviously on the Killshots, there's just leather. Another small but noticeable difference is on the lace panel on the sides right here. There is a little bit of a wing that's added on the Tom Sachs. There's just a standard definition right here on the Killshots. And speaking of laces, the actual lace holes on the Tom Sachs are actually much, much larger, you could see here. And the lace holes on the Killshots are just very standard, but very noticeable difference in the gauge of the lace holes on the Tom Sachs. And speaking of laces, the Tom Sachs laces are much thinner than the standard generic pair from the Killshots. It also feels denser to the touch. One of the biggest changes between these two shoes is not noticeable at first, but the tongue of the Tom Sachs is much more premium feeling. It actually has a dual perforation inside here, so it's actually a larger mesh and then a thinner mesh over top of it. And then it does feature a fused trim around the top versus a standard nylon tongue on the Killshots with the trim around it. Another noticeable difference between the two shoes is the heel padding of the shoe. The general purpose shoes from Tom Sachs has a really nice added strip of padding in the heel. You just have standard cushioning on the Killshots. The top collar around the shoes is where there's another difference. It's kind of a raw edged felt liner on the Tom Sachs versus that standard mesh liner on the Killshots. And while you're looking at the inside of the shoe, the footbed liner of the Tom Sachs is actually a little bit more plush than the standard version on the Killshots. Also, they're both not removable, so I try to remove them and you just can't. They're really glued down. On the heel, there's two different types of logos here. You have the Tom Sachs style Nike logo that's de-embossed, and then for the Killshots, you can see that it's just painted on. But also, as you're looking at this heel logo, you can see that this panel right here is actually sewn underneath the heel cup, versus the standard pairs, it's sewn over top of it. For the toe box and the side panels of the Tom Sachs, it doesn't feature leather, but it actually features a durable knit upper. This is the leather version of the Killshot, so obviously the toe box and the side panels are leather. Maybe I should have done a comparison to a non-leather version, but this colorway looked as close as I could to this pair, so that's why I chose this one. Also, if you guys are interested in buying either of these shoes, I will link them in the description. The Killshots are only 70 bucks. Honestly, that is a pretty decent price. And then the Tom Sachs are about $400 or so on the open market. One other change up is on the side panel of the Killshots. You can see right here, there is no added strip of suede, but for the Tom Sachs, they added a strip on both sides in suede. Extra little reinforcement there. It probably is actually very functional. But something that they changed. Another difference that is not noticeable at first, but very noticeable when you try both the shoes on, is the collar height of the Tom Sachs is much higher. You can see it's just an overall taller shoe. This is a very low profile pair of sneakers in the Killshots. Also in that same front, the overall shape of both of the shoes, the width of the Killshots is a lot more narrow than the Tom Sachs. So Tom Sachs is wider in the front and a little bit wider in the heel. The Killshots is extremely narrow through the midfoot of the shoe and then also on the heel. And it's not really that big on the front of the shoe either. It very much reminds me of like a Nike Blazer, just the overall shape. And the last difference I wanted to throw in the mix is the fit of both of the shoes. The fit of this Killshot, in my opinion, runs extremely snug, especially as a wide footer. This one definitely runs snug. I should have gone up a half a size to a size 10. It would have fit me much better. Size 9.5, true to size for me, is a little bit too snug. This is the interesting one though. The Tom Sachs is true to size, but it also has a ton of heel slip. It's almost like it's too big, but it's actually the right fit in the toe box section of the shoe. However, if I don't lace the shoes down, this is one of the first shoes that I've ever had this issue. If I don't lace the shoes down, the heel slip back here is vicious. Like I'll definitely fall out of the shoe. So this is one of those shoes that I actually have to lace. Not something that I really enjoy doing, but you have to wear it a little bit snug around this area. Otherwise your foot falls out because of the heel slip. But again, if I would have gone down half of a size, it would have been too snug in the toe box of the shoe. So true to size is the right size in my opinion, but you guys leave a comment in the comment section on either of them on the sizing. But that's kind of it. Comparison between two of the shoes here. Same size, 9.5 on both of them. Killshots versus the Tom Sachs general purpose shoe. If this video was informative to you guys and it was helpful, please drop a like on the video. I appreciate you all for stopping by and watching the video. If you guys want to see the update to this, check back soon because I will be doing a 30 days after wearing this Tom Sachs general purpose shoe. But kind of a fun one. I mean, honestly, there was so many similarities, but when you deep dive into it and really nitpick, you could see there's a lot of differences that they made. And this is definitely a premium product comparative to this one. That being said, this one's at $70 at retail or $65 at retail or so. And this one was, I think, $130 or so at retail. Not an expensive shoe by any means, especially when the top of the market for Nike is like almost $300 a pair for some of the extreme running shoes. But a very durable pair of sneakers, supposedly, and something that I'm excited to give you guys a follow-up on. I have worn these quite a bit, and it's a firmer feel underfoot. It's not obviously soft and squishy because of that gum rubber midsole, but it's a really overall comfortable shoe, not something that your feet ache when you're wearing them, and it is something that I feel can be used for general purpose. So that's the video. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you back on the channel for some more videos. And yeah, take it easy, guys. Peace.